Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel US Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. Well, in today's video, we will be talking about US immigration breaking updates. Recent immigration issues are under scrutiny as the DC Circuit Court reconsiders its decision on H-4 spousal work permits. A family challenges prolonged asylum delays, and former President Trump advocates for large-scale deportations. These developments reflect the evolving and contentious nature of US immigration policy. If you are interested in this, so to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. Reconsideration of spousal work permits by DC Circuit Court. The DC Circuit Court is currently under scrutiny regarding its handling of spousal work permits for H-4 visa holders. An appeal has been filed by Save Jobs USA, an organization comprising former technology workers, urging the full panel of judges to reassess a recent decision made by a 3-judge panel. This request is rooted in the organization's concerns over the impact of the H-4 visa program on domestic employment opportunities. The H-4 visa program, established during the Obama administration, allows spouses of H-1 billion visa holders who are in the U.S. under temporary work visas to apply for work permits. Save Jobs USA contends that this program has led to job displacement for American workers, a sentiment that has fueled their legal challenge. Their lawsuit, initially filed in 2015 shortly after the H-4 visa program's inception, argues that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security overstepped its authority by implementing a work permit program for spouses without explicit congressional approval. They assert that such a significant policy shift requires legislative endorsement, a point they believe was overlooked by the D.C. Circuit. In August 2024, the 3-judge panel of the D.C. Circuit Court ruled to uphold the H-4 spousal visa program, referencing the 2022 case of Washington Alliance of Technology Workers v. Department of Homeland Security. This prior decision established that spousal work permits are reasonably related to the employment rights granted to students on F-1 visas who can work in their field of study. The panel concluded that the Immigration and Nationality Act does not necessitate explicit authorization for every DHS action as long as it aligns with the statutory framework and responsibilities set forth by the law. Save Jobs USA's appeal critiques this ruling, arguing that no provision within the INA authorizes employment for immigrant classes without specific congressional consent. They contend that the 3-judge panel's decision disregards fundamental legal principles requiring legislative approval for changes of this magnitude. The outcome of this appeal could have significant implications for both the H-4 visa program and broader immigration policy. Should the full DC Circuit Court rule in favor of Save Jobs USA, it might lead to a reassessment or potential dismantling of the spousal work permit provisions, affecting numerous families in the broader labor market. Family pushes for asylum claim decision following 7-year wait. A family has filed a lawsuit in a federal court in California, seeking a resolution to their long-standing asylum claim, which has been pending since its initial filing in 2017. The family, who arrived in the United States in 2016 on a B-2 visitor visa, submitted their asylum application the following year, citing fears of religious persecution in their country of origin. Despite the submission of their claim, the family has experienced significant delays in the processing of their case. They completed their biometric appointment in 2017, but their asylum interview has yet to be scheduled. The family has made numerous inquiries regarding the status of their case but has received no substantive updates or information from the relevant authorities. Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, frustrated by the prolonged uncertainty. The family is now calling on the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to expedite the processing of their asylum application. They argue that the indefinite delay has left them in a state of uncertainty, hindering their ability to make informed decisions about their future. The lawsuit demands that the court issue an order compelling the government to complete the processing of their claim, asserting that the prolonged delay has caused undue hardship and distress. Trump opens the door to large deportations of legal immigrants. It's not a secret that Donald Trump has falsely accused Haitian immigrants in Ohio of abducting and eating household pets. But just as notably, the former president and his running mate have repeatedly told the public that those same immigrants entered the United States illegally. That's a lie too. As NBC News reported over the weekend, even Ohio's Republican governor, Mike DeWine, has explained that many of the Haitian immigrants in Springfield went there legally under federal programs as refugees who fled political turmoil in their country, and said they have helped boost the state's economy as workers. As a Washington Post report noted, the GOP's 2024 nominee has nevertheless opened the door to large deportations. I can say this, the Republican said at a press conference in California on Friday, "We will do large deportations from Springfield, Ohio. Large deportations. We're going to get these people out. We're bringing EM back to Venezuela." Trump added that he, in a second term, would launch the largest deportation in the history of our country in Springfield, would be one of the first communities he'd target. Right off the bat, let's acknowledge the single most important detail: the Haitian immigrants the people Trump and Vance have falsely accused of being pet-eating, disease-ridden thieves entered the country legally, suggesting that the UP nominee is open to deporting legal immigrants. It's also worth pausing to wonder why Trump intends to send Haitian immigrants to Venezuela. The two countries have very little in common. They're not even part of the same continent, but just as notable is the broader political context surrounding the former president's rhetoric. As part of his 2024 candidacy, Trump has targeted migrants with dehumanizing rhetoric that echoes Adolf Hitler, all while promising to create militarized mass deportations and detention camps if voters reward him with a second term. He's even talked about putting migrants into rings to fight for Americans' entertainment. It's against this backdrop that Republican National Convention attendees waved professionally made mass deportations now signs while chanting "send them back" on the convention floor. As of late last week, deporting legal immigrants is apparently on the table in a second Trump administration too, all of which reminded me of a New York Times report published in July about Latino voters and their perceptions of the Republicans' plans. In other words, these pro-immigrant voters are simply counting on Trump breaking his campaign promises. As of last week, there appeared to be another such anti-immigrant promise to overlook. Biden administration says number of illegal border crossings has drastically fallen as Trump seizes on immigration. Plus, officials on Monday touted another month of low border crossings, citing recent executive action curbing asylum access at the U.S. southern border. Even as former President Donald Trump levels campaign attacks over the Biden administration's handling of border security. Immigration and border security remain among the top issues for voters, and Trump has made them a cornerstone of his campaign, pinning blame on Vice President Kamala Harris over the handling of the U.S.-Mexico border. But while border crises have dogged administration officials for the better part of Joe Biden's presidency, the number of people illegally crossing the border over the last 2 months has drastically fallen. The data published today by U.S. Customs and Border Protection shows that since President Biden announced new, decisive executive actions to secure the border on June 4th, encounters between ports of entry have dropped significantly and remain at their lowest level in years. July and August saw the lowest encounter levels since September 2020, White House spokesperson Angelo Hernandez said in a statement. The administration, Hernandez said, has taken effective action, and Republican officials continue to do nothing. In August, Border Patrol recorded about 58,000 encounters between ports of entry along the U.S. southern border, slightly up from July but far below the record numbers in recent months. Encounters between ports of entry have decreased by more than 50% and are the lowest since September 2020, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. In September 2020, Border Patrol recorded 54,771 encounters along the U.S. southern border. Administration officials cite the executive action that Biden announced in June, which largely bars migrants from seeking asylum at the U.S. southern border, for the dramatic decline in crossings. CBP continues to enforce the Securing the Border Interim Final Rule and deliver strong consequences for illegal entry, and encounters between ports of entry remain at their lowest level in years. Troy A. Miller, Acting Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection, said in a statement. Eligible migrants can still apply to legally enter the United States through a mobile application, known as CBP-1, or through a parole process set up for certain nationalities. The outcomes of these cases and statements will significantly impact U.S. immigration policy and the lives of many. As legal and political debates unfold, they highlight the ongoing complexities and challenges within the immigration system. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Channel US Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. Well, in today's video, we'll be talking about US immigration breaking updates. The DC Circuit Court is reassessing its recent decision regarding H-4 spousal work permits following an appeal from Safe Jobs USA group of former tech workers. The appeal challenges a 3-judge panel's ruling that upheld the H-4 visa program, which permits spouses of H-1B visa holders to work in the US Safe Jobs USA. The appeal challenges a 3-judge panel's ruling that upheld the H-4 visa program, which permits spouses of H-1B visa holders to work in the US Safe Jobs USA. Argues that program has negatively impacted domestic job opportunities and that the Department of Homeland Security overstepped its authority by implementing the work permit policy without explicit congressional approval. This lawsuit, filed in 2015, contends that such significant policy changes should have legislative endorsement, a point the panel's decision allegedly overlooked. The earlier ruling was based on a 2022 case that found the spousal work permits reasonably aligned with similar employment rights for F1 visa holders. If the full DC Circuit Court overturns the decision, it could lead to a major re-evaluation or potential dismantling of the H4 visa program, affecting many families in the broader labor market. In a separate case, a family has filed a lawsuit in California demanding action on their asylum claim, which has been pending since 2017. The family, who arrived in the US in 2016 on B2 visitor visa, applied for asylum the following year due to fears of religious persecution. Despite completing their biometric appointment in 2017, their asylum interview has yet to be scheduled. The family has faced prolonged delays and a lack of updates from authorities, which they argue have caused significant hardship and uncertainty. They are seeking a court order to expedite their case, citing the adverse effects of the ongoing delay on their lives and future decisions. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump has generated controversy with statements suggesting large-scale deportations, including targeting Haitian immigrants in Ohio who entered the US legally. Trump's campaign promises include implementing the largest deportation operation in US history if re-elected. In contrast, the Biden administration reports a significant decrease in illegal border crossings due to new executive actions, with recent data showing the lowest encounter levels in years.